Welcome to my review of the Concept2 BikeErg. I'm not a professional video producer. This is literally just me stood here with my phone in my hand on my own, just talking you through the pros and cons of this machine. If you don't really want to watch the full video, but you'd like to know whether I would recommend this bike, then I absolutely would. Okay, let's crack on. First of all, I'm going to discuss the pros as I see them, and then we'll move on to the cons after that. Firstly, it's a very durable machine. The likelihood is it will last for years and it will still be just as good after those years as on the day you bought it. I've already cycled over 1,000 kilometres on this. I bought it 2 months ago. I do go fairly hard on it. I'm in the top 10% of men for 4 different events on the Concept2 ranking list. But 1,000 kilometres in terms of the lifetime of one of these machines is nothing, frankly. But I'm reliably informed that it will last for years, even with tough use. So yeah, on the durability point, full marks as far as I'm concerned. It is a fairly basic design. Concept2 are not about style so much as substance. Other bikes do look better, possibly. They look more futuristic. The Pelotons and the WattBikes, yeah, they possibly look fancier than this. But it's a great design. It's sturdy. There's absolutely no problem with it at all, in my opinion. You can move the settings about quite easily. The handles, the saddle and the pedals are all interchangeable with standard bike parts. I have actually changed the saddle. That's the only thing that I've changed, because the saddle that it comes with, the one that you can see now, is very uncomfortable. It's fairly universally regarded as such. It would be the same if you bought any other bike. The WattBike saddles are uncomfortable in my opinion as well. They probably are on most bikes when you buy them. So yeah, that's something that you have to deal with after buying it if you feel you need to. On the point I mentioned a minute ago about Concept2 being more about the substance than the style, that leads me on to the PM5 monitor, which in modern terms, it does look fairly basic. It isn't full colour, there's no internet connectivity, it's fairly small. It looks very different to the sort of thing you would get on a Peloton bike, for example, or even a WattBike. But the consistency and the accuracy you get from one of these machines, it gives you all the information you need, and it will reliably let you know how you're progressing. And it will also provide a reliable comparison with others if you're interested in how you compare with others on the Concept2 ranking lists. There's all sorts of challenges that Concept2 offer. When you get to various distances, you get free gifts if you wish to. You can also, as I said, log your times on the internet, and you can see how you compare with others when age is factored in, gender's factored in. The next thing is how the resistance works. Now, it's very similar to the Concept2 rower for those of you that are familiar with it. It has a flywheel just here. The damper lever is on the side just there. And it generates what are called drag factors. Now, I've marked the drag factor at various points. I tend to have it at the bottom of the range. Down here generates a fairly free-flowing situation where you don't require much effort. Up there, the resistance is a lot higher. It's a very personal thing. Some people prefer it here, some people there, and maybe others up there. When it's working out your performance details, it factors this in. So in short, if you have it down here, you'll have to be, your cadence, the rate you're pedalling at, will have to be faster than someone that has it just here. Someone there will be having it harder to turn the pedals, but they won't have to do it as quickly to equal you down there. It's all factored in by the monitor. Right, now I'm going to move on to a couple of points that I've noticed that I feel could be better. The first is the seat. Now, the fore and aft position, as I believe they call it in cycling, which is how far forward the seat is on these rails or back, it can't be adjusted without taking a spanner out, loosening the nut and moving the seat forward or back. A lot of bikes have the ability to do that manually. You literally just press a button similar to the one that's just there and you can move it forward or back. So that's a bit of a pain. It's simplistic, yeah, but I do feel that that is an improvement that could be made. The second point I've noticed is that it is a little bit prone to rusting. You probably can't see it on the camera just here, but, oh, you can. It has bobbled up a bit there. That's a sign of corrosion. Also, the flywheel, you can probably see there's a bit of corrosion has appeared just there. Now, that would have been a lot worse by now if I hadn't continually dried it down after sessions. I do sweat a fair bit, but it also seems to have a tendency towards corrosion. I don't think it would be a problem, provided you keep on top of it. You need to be drying this thing down after you've used it, particularly if you sweat a lot, as I do. Right, now I'm going to talk about a couple of points that other people have mentioned, which I personally don't regard as being a problem. The first one is regarding the seat height. Now, when it's at its lowest point, and we'll just do that now, that's as low as it will go. There have been some people on the internet who have stated that it's still not low enough for them. Now, my mother is 4'11.5" and she has no problem with it at the lowest setting. So I'm not saying that this isn't a problem that could be encountered, but what I'm saying is you'd probably need to be under 5 foot for there to be any problem or potential problem there. Obviously, a bike does have to have a minimum point. You can't take it right down to 2 feet off the ground. So yeah, I don't regard that as being as much of a problem as some people appear to think that it is. At the other end of the spectrum, if you're very tall, I'm just trying to move the seat up here. That's as high as the seat will go. Now, if you were to buy an alternative saddle, such as this one, that would probably add another 3 inches to the height, possibly, of the standard saddle. I don't want to put an exact height on this, but I would suspect it will be fine for people up to about 6'6". That would be my guess. Again, don't quote me on that, but I think it's perfectly adequate for the vast majority of people. And as I've said, if you're unusually tall, there is this little hack of using another saddle, which I think you should do anyway, as I mentioned earlier, to shove the maximum height up by sort of 2 or 3 inches. There is another review here on YouTube where it's titled something like "The Big Problem with the BikeErg." It's pure clickbait, in my opinion. When you watch the video, it transpires that this big problem that the reviewer is alleging is that air is blown out of the flywheel and blows directly into your legs. Now, as I said, I've done a lot of kilometres on this, and yeah, you can feel a very slight breeze coming out of your legs, but it's inconsequential. It's certainly not a problem at all, in my opinion. So that's something else that can be disregarded in my view. Now, as far as the actual experience is concerned, it's something that obviously I can record, but I can't really feel it for you. But it's a very smooth feel. The air resistance, I personally think is preferable to the magnetic resistance that you get on a bike such as the WattBike Atom. I've used WattBikes extensively, as I said, and yeah, they rely to some or all extents on magnetic resistance, and this is fully air resistant, which I personally think is preferable. When it comes to the settings, of course, you can move the handlebars forward or back like this, which makes quite a difference between the distance between the seat and the handlebars. And using that setting there, you can move them up or down, same as with the seat, obviously. Yeah, so overall, I would thoroughly recommend this bike. If you're in the market for one, I would get the toe clips, which are about an extra £5 or something. The mat itself, this is my rowing mat. You can get a shorter one for the BikeErg, but I haven't felt it necessary to do that. I would certainly recommend the mat as well. The one thing I wouldn't recommend is the standard bottle holder, which soon corroded to the point that it literally fell off. So I don't think the quality of the bottle holder is particularly good. So I'd probably save your £5 when it comes to that. So yeah, overall, a fantastic bike. It's not perfect, no piece of equipment is, but this is something that will get you fit, that's very satisfying to use, it's very enjoyable, lots of challenges. Definitely recommended. If you've got any questions, just put them in the comments and I will try to help. But hopefully this review's been of some use to you. Okay, thanks for watching and goodbye.